How did you react when you got this role? What were you doing, and what was the moment like?
When I got offered this role, it wasn't what everyone expects. It wasn't sort of, victory dances and whooping and hollering. It was a very surreal, quiet moment. Put the phone down. It was just going, oh my goodness, did that really just happen? Did Zack Snyder, the guy who's directing Man of Steel, actually just call me and say, by the way, you're Superman? It took a while for it to sink in, and I tried calling the family and no one picked up. And then the agents eventually called and said, hey man, how you feeling? I could sense on the other end of the phone they're going, why isn't he more excited? And I was excited, but it was a very private, personal moment. I'd been through, at that stage, 11, 12 years of acting, getting some jobs and getting close to really big stuff, but getting, as every actor has, turned down from a lot of stuff. And I was so accustomed to the thank you so much for coming in, you were great, but you haven't got this because of fill in the blank. And this time, I got it.
It wasn't that.
It wasn't getting over it. It wasn't going, okay, well, oh, what's next? Let's, focus on that. It was, okay, you've got it. And they were so excited, and I was going, I don't know how to process, I don't know how to, this is the first time I'm doing this. I don't know how to deal with it. And it was only after that, sort of, hours later, it started to sink in properly, and I allowed myself to get excited, and I enjoyed that. But otherwise, an incredibly surreal and very quiet moment.
Obviously, you're in incredible shape in this movie. I think your arms are like my whole body. But you have talked about, a time in your life when you were overweight as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me how that affected you growing up? And
I mean, how it affected me growing up, I don't think it affected me in any kind of, horrible, terrible way. I was just a chubby kid. I should have eaten less, and I probably should have exercised more. And I was the brunt of many jokes because of it. But kids are mean. That's normal. That's fine. And I had the opportunity to be in movies like this and have these great trainers and have nothing but a dedication towards training because it was part of the job. And I was just very fortunate to be provided that opportunity, and I took it and ran with it.
Did your background give you more motivation for training for a movie like this?
My background, in the sense of being
what you went through, yeah.
You say what I went through like I sort of
like it was a big deal.
Got over cancer or something. It's I was just a chubby kid. It didn't give me more motivation at all. What gave me more motivation was I've got to do justice to this character. So when I was in the gym and I wanted to stop and it was hurting and I wanted to be sick, you push through anyway because you've got to do justice to this character. It's not just a small thing. It's not just any old role. It's a very important one, and I wanted to physically represent the character properly.
So what kind of training did you go through to be in that shape?
An awful lot of different training. Mark Twight and Michael Blevins from Jim Jones would better answer that question. It's a very, very long answer as well. But it went through like a sort of foundation phase or conditioning phase, and then technique work, working on how to do the exercises, then mass building, and then leaning for the suit, and then maintenance and fine-tuning during shooting, and then leaning up again for the shirtless period, and then just maintenance and fine-tuning towards the end. And then caloric intake depending on what we were